Well, they warned me before I came in that it was a little warm in here, but if you're trying to keep me brief, and you'll know I'll stop talking before the heat stroke sets in. And after I've concluded remarks, people are rarely inspired, sometimes angry, but never have I had a situation where everybody wants to take an ice bath. But though it is getting a little cooler, I think, in here, but I'm going to try to keep my jacket on and be brief. But, I think, look, everybody wants the same thing, in and out of session, whatever session we're in, doesn't matter what party you're in, what your gender, race, or otherwise, is we want, I think, basically three things. We want our state to make sure that we're setting the environment to promote prosperity and jobs. We want to make sure we're expanding opportunity for those that need a chance and to be able to realize the American dream. And we want quality of life. We want to make sure we maintain our quality of life. And if we get the first two right, but we're not a fun place to be, or our water isn't clean, then we have problems. And so I think on the first front, we have really done a great job. The governor mentioned the fact that we're not going to have an income tax, and with the House and the Senate, we've done a great job over, I think, the last 2 decades of making sure that we're fiscally responsible, that we're addressing priorities without raising taxes. But there are threats certainly on the horizon. I think our litigation climate is one that we have to look at. We don't have a particularly good reputation when it comes to litigation. And so that's something I think we can take on in the coming years. We recently had, as you know, the federal tax reform, and what is normally the most boring bill in the legislature, the piggyback bill, which we did, I think it was 2 years ago, was actually quite consequential because we coupled a lot of those reforms that made the tax system much fairer and much more equitable, which is something that this group cares a lot about. And in doing so, we had to avoid an inadvertent tax increase. But we do have a fairer system today because of that. And so on that front, I think we're in pretty good shape. We have some outliers like CST and the business rent tax that we need to try to address and bring down to a level that's really in keeping with the rest of the states. But in so many regards, we beat the rest of the states, and we are a very attractive place to do business, the evidence of which is that people are flooding in from other states. That second category, expanding opportunity, means we continue to move forward and press forward on expanding school choice and making sure that every child has a quality, world-class education no matter where they're from, and that choice means whatever that choice is for them, frankly. And if that's a traditional public school, like my mom was a traditional public school teacher, that's great. And if you need a little mentoring on the side, we can make some more money for our teachers, that's good too. But if you want to go to a private institution, or you want to do virtual school, whatever it is that works for you, even brothers and sisters learn differently, we need to make a place for that. The other thing in the area of opportunity is we need to make sure that those that are really struggling to stay out of poverty and climb that ladder. In many cases, government, in trying to help people, has removed the bottom rungs of the ladder, in my opinion. They've made it harder. They've created a gap and a fiscal cliff when it comes to poverty. One of those areas is in the area of occupational licensing reform. And so I have a bill that I know has got some folks excited a little bit to do a review, and they focus more on the sunset piece than the review piece. But we really want to do an honest review and give everybody, every industry, a chance to have our undivided attention, not just for licensure issues, but what would make their profession better, and how we can really be the best in all those categories. And I can guarantee you this after tonight, that under no circumstances will we ever deregulate air conditioning technicians. And finally, on quality of life, I think it really, the thing that comes to mind, obviously healthcare is important, is water quality. And the governor has done such a great job in leading in that area. I think it will be something we will continue to do long after I'm gone. But I can tell you that certainly the members of my class and those that I'm in touch with in the House, and I know some of our senators here care a lot about this issue, and we're going to continue to press forward on that as well. So I want to thank you for allowing me to speak to you for a moment, and we're going to do some good things this year, so I look forward to doing that with you. Thank you.